Good day and welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. As we come to you for our final show of 2025, it's a perfect moment to pause and reflect, not to dwell on the past, but to learn from it, sharpen our choices, and move forward with greater purpose. This time of year often brings talk of New Year's resolutions, those firm decisions we make to improve our habits, adjust our mindset, or simply do better in the year ahead. Coming up, we'll take a closer look at this idea in our Hear This segment as we explore how reflection can lead to positive change.
This Christmas, let's celebrate the season while protecting the island we love. As we prepare for the busiest time of year, let us remember that being eco-friendly is easier than you think. Reuse gift bags and wrapping paper where you can, and decorate with items you already have in storage. While you're at it, choose LED lights. That light bill due by the month's end will not give you grace. You may also reduce waste by recycling where possible. Utilizing reusable containers and carrying your own bags to the market are small choices that make a big difference. When we protect our beaches, rivers, and green spaces, we protect our future. Come this holiday season, when you visit all the popular and tucked away gems, be mindful of what and how you throw away your waste. We don't want to cause harm to the country's biodiversity and ecosystems. This season, let's keep Jamaica beautiful. Let's keep the season bright and keep the season green. Protect the land you love today, tomorrow, and for generations to come.
Good day, I'm Lisa Rowe and this is your JIS News for Wednesday, December 31, 2025. The Ministry of Finance and the Public Service is finalizing a cabinet submission for implementation of the new Twin Peaks regulatory framework. The disclosure was made by Bank of Jamaica Governor Richard Biles during the BOJ's most recent quarterly media briefing.
After that begins the process of drafting the legislation. And after that, it goes to House of Representatives and Senate. So we are quite away from having it implemented. In the meanwhile, though, we are practicing, meaning that the FSC and ourselves share a lot of information and insights into each of our portfolios. And we even do on-site inspections together. So I would say Bank of Jamaica and FSC has a much better picture of the total financial sector today than we did 2 or 3 years ago. And we hope to continue that in the future.
The Twin Peaks framework represents a major overhaul of the country's financial regulatory system. Under the arrangement, the Bank of Jamaica will assume responsibility for prudential supervision of all financial institutions. The Financial Services Commission, FSC, will instead focus on market conduct and consumer protection across the entire financial sector. The government has begun dispersing the first tranche of payments under the Solidarity Program, delivering immediate financial relief to some of the country's most vulnerable citizens. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Labour and Social Security, provides a one-time cash grant of $20,000, along with access to long-term government support services. Beneficiaries include the elderly, unattached youth aged 18 to 35, persons with disabilities, and informal and low-income workers. It also applies to the medically indigent, disaster-affected small business operators, and Jamaicans without a birth certificate or taxpayer registration number (TRN). The Ministry of Labour and Social Security says over 90% of constituency offices have uploaded applications, making Phase 1 of the program almost complete. In Phase 2, civil society partners have been engaged to help reach vulnerable groups, and Phase 3, which will allow for self-referrals, will be announced in the new year. The Ministry of Labour and Social Security says the program represents an enhanced social security framework one rooted in empathy, accountability, and inclusion. For more information on the Solidarity Program, persons can contact the Ministry at 876-676-5699 or 876-676-5697 or email solidarity@mlss.gov.jm. Phase 2 of the cleanup of Black River in St. Elizabeth is now underway, with the National Solid Waste Management Authority, NSWMA, deploying additional resources to accelerate debris removal. The operation is focused on removing large volumes of hurricane debris from key areas as the authorities work to restore normalcy to the town. Regional Manager for Southern Parks and Markets Waste Management, Sheldon Smith, tells JIS News that the team will also be working at nights to remove debris from Independence Park, which is being used as a temporary dump.
The dump that you see here today is going to our Maysville disposal site. We understand that the amount of debris, as the Prime Minister announced, over 480,000 truckloads, that size truckloads, that across the island that has to move. So what we had done at our disposal site, especially the one here in St. Elizabeth, we had created more space to accommodate this waste at the disposal site in Maysville.
Meanwhile, Executive Director of the NSWMA, Audley Gordon, is reminding members of the public to properly containerize their garbage.
When you properly containerize your garbage, it makes it easier for us to move it. The crew just take up, put it in a truck and gone. It's challenging times and we need all hands on deck as we navigate this together.
The cleanup efforts form part of the wider national recovery following Hurricane Melissa. As passenger traffic increases during the busy holiday travel period, the Airports Authority of Jamaica, AAJ, is reminding travelers to remain vigilant and prepared when using airports in general. Speaking at a JIS think tank, Aerodromes Manager at the AAJ, Claude Service, urges passengers to arrive early and to take personal responsibility for their safety and security throughout their journey.
When they are planning on traveling, they must at best try to abide by the 3-hour requirements to get to the airport for processing. It is very important for a number of reasons. Sometimes you set out to say you're pretty near, but along the journey, along the route, you find that you may encounter traffic, there may be an incident on the road that will somewhat cut into that timeline, and it puts unnecessary pressure on you, the traveler, to get to the airport. And so even when you now get to the airport, it also put the airline personnel in a bit of a frenzy, trying to ensure that they accommodate as best within the limitations that is now set.
Mr. Service also emphasizes the importance of properly securing valuables before leaving home and monitoring them while at the airport.
More likely you put your valuables in your carry-on rather than placing it in your check luggage. It's more secure on person. When you get to the airport, it is also important that at all times you keep your luggage as close to you as possible at all times. It minimizes the reality that it can be switched, it can be swapped, it can be tampered with, it can be stolen. Luggage that are left unattended at an airport also is a threat to the airport. And so you too may find yourself being interrogated unnecessarily.
And finally, 17,712 electors have been added to the National Voters List that was published on December 20. The Electoral Commission of Jamaica, EOJ, says this brings the number of registered voters to over 2,091,000. New electors can collect their voter ID cards by mid-January at the EOJ office in the constituency where they are registered. The voters list is published twice per year, May and November. However, due to the impact of Hurricane Melissa, the publication of the November 30 list was delayed by 3 weeks. Registered electors whose voter ID cards were lost or damaged during the hurricane can request a replacement free of cost. Persons who successfully registered between October 1, 2025 and March 31, 2026 will be added to the May 31, 2026 voters list. And that's it for JIS News today. I'm Lisa Rowe. Thanks for watching.
With increased activity on our roads this season, the police have been out in full force, maintaining order. If you're stopped by an officer, do you know the correct steps to follow? If not, we'll break it down for you next.
As a police officer, I would implore all our drivers to be safe, to operate motor vehicle and drive safely. Road safety is a concern for every Jamaican citizen. Once you operate or drive safely, you make it a safe environment for all other persons to operate, whether it be the pedestrian, the motorcyclist, or the public passenger vehicles.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
Keep your vehicles serviced so they're in prime condition to handle anything the road throws at them. Follow road signs and traffic signals to avoid dangerous situations and prevent collisions with other drivers or even pedestrians. Do not drink alcohol before or while behind the wheel. We all know these road safety guidelines, but many don't realize that obeying the directions of police officers in the traffic space is another critical component of road safety. They are there to ensure order is being maintained and disrupt any criminal act that may be in progress, especially those involving the use of a vehicle.
So the police from time to time will conduct operations. We class them as crime reduction operation. So from national roadblock operation, speed enforcement operation, vehicle checkpoint operation, spot checks, and so on, in which officers will be stopping you. They will be checking first to see if any breaches of the Firearms Act, the Dangerous Drugs Act, the Customs Act are being detected. If there's any breach of the Road Traffic Act, that will be dealt with.
So, what's your role in helping to not hinder these activities and potentially place yourself in danger? Simple. Follow the directives of the officer that stops you.
On being stopped by the police, as a member of the motoring public or the motorist, you should bring your vehicle to a complete stop. You should bring down all your windows and keep your hands on the steering and listen for all instructions from the police. There can be multiple reasons that can arouse the police officer's suspicion and multiple breaches that can come under different legislations. You do not want to drive away from a police officer because it means that firstly you may be issued a traffic ticket for failing to comply with a constable's command. As also at Section 7 of the Road Traffic Act, you must produce your documents to the police. It is an offense for you not to produce your documents when instructed to do so by the police. So you hand the officer your driver's license, vehicle documents, then you can ask a question. You do not want a situation in that you are utilizing the electronic communication device, which is your phone, to make a call when the vehicle is in operation on the road, because that is a breach of the Road Traffic Act and you may be prosecuted for it.
And even once the vehicle has stopped, you should also refrain from using your mobile device while interacting with the police.
It would not be practicable to make a call whilst you're being searched by the officer, whilst a motor vehicle is being searched. You are required to be in full attendance at that part. But upon confirmation of what is requested of you, you should comply with the instructions given and allow the officer to carry out his duties. Good morning, ma'am. Sergeant Martindale, I'm attached to the Public Safety and Traffic Enforcement Branch. Could you bring down all your windows for me, please?
At this point, follow the officer's instructions carefully. It's crucial to listen attentively and not make any sudden movements. This ensures both your safety and the officers.
We implore all our motorists to drive safely, comply with instructions, comply with signs given. At no time should you be arguing with the officer, shouting at the officer, or you should try to assault the officer in the performance of his or her duties. You should comply, look, listen for all signals, all instructions.
So the next time you're behind the wheel, remember, safety first. By following the rules of the road and instructions of our police officers, it not only protects you, but all road users.
Making my way downtown, walking fast, faces pass and I'm homebound.
As floodwaters rise, displaced insects like scorpions, centipedes, and bees are seeking refuge in homes. Their bites and stings can be painful, dangerous, and may cause severe allergic reactions. Protect your family. Shake out clothes, towels, and shoes before use. Use a light when entering dark spaces such as closets and sheds. Keep children and pets away from piles of debris. Seek medical attention immediately if bitten or stung. Stay safe and vigilant.
On a regular day, you may feel like you have all the time in the world to move at your own pace. But what happens in an emergency? That bulky bunch of keys you carry around every day could actually slow you down when every second counts.
In an emergency, every second matters, whether it's rushing out the door during a fire, trying to unlock a door to help someone in need, or even just get into your car. Key rings can become more of a hindrance than a help. It's easy to accumulate keychains, gadgets, and trinkets over time, but when you're under pressure, fumbling for the right key can waste precious time. So the Jamaica Fire Brigade is imploring persons to reduce key clutter for quicker, more efficient access, especially in the event of a fire.
There's one very, very grim incident I can recall where we got to a scene and a lady was dead on her veranda grasping a bunch of keys. She just could not get out. There was about 10 keys on the bunch. You don't need to have all those keys that are not being used at home on your house keys. Keep the house keys to a minimum. Once you get there to that lock, you don't have to be going through 10 or more keys and figuring out which is which. Keep it to a minimum.
You can keep them to a minimum by removing unnecessary items like keychains, tags, or mementos that can slow you down. Label your keys. A quick identifier like color-coded keychains or simple tags can make all the difference, especially when you're in a rush.
Try to use the padlocks that use one key open two padlocks. And what I do, I keep my external keys by themselves. The internal keys are on a key rack inside my house. So I only keep the keys to enter my house on a particular key ring. And what I do is I use one keys for two padlock for the front grill, and I try to use a different grill for the side entrance, one key for two padlocks. So I can identify the key easily. You don't want to be shuffling through your keys in an emergency.
These are called key-alike padlocks, also known as same key or suited padlocks. They come in various designs and sizes, from basic models for light-duty use to heavy-duty options for more robust security needs. They are commonly available in both keyed and combination lock versions.
So you can get 2, 3, I think maybe up to 4 padlocks that use the same key. And I know some persons are going to say, what if the key get lost? You have multiple keys. Yes. So what you do is that responsible adult members of the household should have these keys.
So in the event that you lose yours, then you can have another one and you can go cut a key off that one.
Remember, when it comes to keys, less really is more. Clear your keyring and clear the paths to a safer, quicker response when it counts. Also, in the event of a fire, it's also important for you to have the emergency numbers on standby.
It is important that you know the number to the nearest fire station because the emergency systems are not operated by the Jamaica Fire Brigade. So when you call 110 or 112, it goes to an operator. That operator will then have to route your call to the nearest fire station. When you call the operator, whether you call the nearest fire station or 110, provide the information that you're asked for. It makes it so much easier for us to know exactly where that fire is.
We are imploring members of the public to only purchase from reputable shops, meat shops, supermarkets. Look for the signs of rotten carcasses, meats, poultry, whenever you're purchasing. Do the smell test. Smell test never loses. Look on the coloration of these meats to ensure that you're consuming inspected meats that were slaughtered in a government registered slaughterhouse and inspected by the public health inspectors.
Don't let stolen, spoiled, or contaminated meats enter your kitchen or the food chain.
With children at home for a few more days, things can sometimes feel a bit overwhelming. To help make this time more manageable and enjoyable, here are a few simple tips to keep them engaged at home. Schools are closed and you're seeing more of your children. I get it. The idea of being cooped up with them all day can be daunting or overwhelming. But there's hope. In a moment, we will share a host of engaging activities for your children while they're at home. Structure and regularity are good remedies for manufacturing calmness in times of distress. So here's a structure for a child. Let's start with creating a schedule that lays out time for study, chores, eating, of course, fun activities, and downtime. Incorporate new gaming activities into your child's routine, like puzzles and game boards such as Monopoly and Ludi. Charades and ABC Fast and Slow, Chinese Skip and Jump Ropes are also entertaining games that have the added benefit of getting them moving so that they're exercising without even realizing it. This works better for younger children. They are attracted by a range of colors and experiments. So how about you engage them with some drawings and paintings, bringing their artistic sides to life? Creating science projects is also a good way to work the minds while engaging your children. Music is perfect to get the young ones up and engaged. Plus, there are many studies suggesting that learning music helps children with their academics. Some musical games to explore include karaoke, musical chairs, and musical trivia. This is also a good way to teach them about their rich musical heritage. So here's the plan. Get a cookbook and get them involved. This could make them feel that they are making a valuable contribution to the family. As a parent, you'd already know the value in exercise and working out, so how about encouraging your children to create a workout routine, do some yoga or dance routine, and keep them moving. It might not be such a bad thing to allow your children to keep in touch with their peers or friends and keep a strong support network. If they wish to call or text friends and families, let them do so. Just monitor them. Socializing helps to regulate your mood and stay grounded, and that's as true for children as it is for adults. Some of these activities require the involvement of a responsible adult, but for those that do not, monitoring is still important for safety. Remember that different activities apply to different age groups, so ensure that you check on them in between all their playtime activities and ensure that all is going according to plan. Also, remember you can split the monitoring work between parents and/or older siblings. One parent or older sibling can monitor the children in the morning, while another person takes over in the afternoon. With that said, all the best. New Year's resolutions should be personal and smart. That means your goals should be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Setting goals this way gives you clarity, direction, and a greater chance of success. Simple tools such as vision boards, writing post-it reminders, or even having an accountability partner can go a long way in helping you stay focused and motivated throughout the year. Here are a few reminder strategies to help you stay on track. First, categorize your goals. Separate what you want to achieve into areas such as health, finances, personal development, or career. This makes your goals feel more manageable and easier to prioritize. Next, make your goals visible. Create a physical vision board or write your goals where you can see them daily. When your goals are in your line of sight, they stay at the front of your mind. Then, set quarterly goals. Rather than tackling everything at once, assign different goals to each quarter of the year. This approach allows you to focus, reflect, and adjust as you go. You may also want to find an accountability partner. Partner with a friend or a family member who is on a similar journey. Mutual encouragement and support can make all the difference. And finally, be flexible. Focus on progress, not perfection. If you slip up, don't give up. Pause, reset, and try again. As we step into this new year, remember, your goals are a journey, not a race. Take it one step at a time, stay committed, and give yourself grace along the way. We've come to the end of today's show, but be sure to join us again tomorrow for another lineup focused on keeping you informed about the government's policies and initiatives aimed at building a better Jamaica. You can visit our website at jis.gov.jm to rewatch this program or catch up on the others available on the site. I'm Theodore Henry saying thanks for making it Jamaica Magazine for yet another year. And on behalf of our production team here at the JIS, have a blessed and happy new year.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.